So in game one, IG seemed like they were a bit behind, in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game, but after that they just came back and, I mean, PQ, can you weigh in more on what happened in game one?
To be honest, I think it was an outdraft from minute one. The game looked a lot better for Vitality in the early stages, down to how little the Sand King got done, and they probably got like a false sense of security. But after that Roche fight, the first one, it all just went downhill. And I really wouldn't be surprised if they ban Lifestealer, because that hero just seems to fit into IG perfectly. Though, to be fair, it fits into most teams.
It does, especially with Chinese teams where I think they were the ones who pretty much start Lifestealer Slaughter all the time, and I mean, of course, that has changed ever since, but Vitality going to take a step back. They will just ban out the Bobaka heroes, which include Monkey King and Tree, and so no surprise there. Which kind of leaves two more heroes in the pool for him, like, I mean, famed heroes at least, like Sand King and Earth Spirit.
Reserve time.
Yeah, they're probably going to play like Ricky Magnus or something. I don't think I've seen them pass up Mag if it's in the pool. And they do get the 1-2 punch as a second pick.
They might. I mean, we've seen IG play a really good Magnus before. It helps burning scale much better, but I'm just glad. I mean, for the first time in a really long time, we haven't seen the Venge first pick coming out from Invictus Gaming, because they used to just first pick the Venge and decide whether or not to give it to either Q or burning. So, it's good. A bit of change is good for burning. It shows that he can't only play that hero with this roster. So, Darkseer once again will be banned. I mean, it's an in July specialty for those of you who don't know. It's one of his trademark heroes. He's had some really good games of it. And
I thought Batrider was his trademark.
Well, these two, because, I mean, let's face it, when he played a lot of Darkseer back then, he always found these great vacuum initiations. And even if you locked him down the lane, he somehow would manage to find his farm. But, it's just a Darkseer things, where you just go back to the jungle. And he's very good at... He does these very weird rotations with Darkseer sometimes as well. But, we're going to get the... We're going to get the Paparazzi Juggernaut again.
Could be Cicada, we will see. It's the joy of the hero. It's somewhat flexible in where you put it.
Unless, of course, where you give Sakata the Juggernaut instead, and you can put Paparazzi on Invoker.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, or Tinker or something like that.
Reserve time.
They seem to have an identity crisis a while ago where Paparazzi kept playing mid after he won the tournament. I think that definitely caused some internal conflict for their team. I hope they sorted it out.
I mean, we've never really seen like a Tinker so far, have we? Like, we really haven't. At least not from either of these teams.
Not that we've casted.
Yeah. So, right, IG actually going to take a while to think about what are they going to pick this time. They go back for the Axe this time, so it's going to be XXS on the... Ooh. Okay, Bobaka Ricky. Haven't seen this, too often. We've usually seen him on the other heroes. But this will bring back a few memories, at least for IG. When Burning first joined the squad, they were struggling a bit here and there. They weren't really performing that well. So, it'll be good to see how Bobaka plays on the Ricky this time.
Yeah, two heroes that are really, really good against Jug throughout the game. Axe is a nightmare to play against. You pretty much have to adapt your lineup to pick up some kind of Yule's hero, just so Jug doesn't die to the Blade Mail call.
Jug in general also has a very tough time against Axe.
Yeah, exactly. Like the entire game is bad for Jug when Axe is in your lane or he's blink calling you in fights. Almost a similar thing with Ricky as well, because he's normally gonna get the jump on you first, just by the nature of being invis. And then the cloud is really annoying to deal with. If your Manta gets unlucky, maybe you get further into it instead of further out of it. And then any form of stun just stops you doing what you want to do. I really like this IG opening. Sets the tone for a very aggressive game for them and plenty of ways to deal with a Jug, which I'm really surprised iG.V first picked, because IG play the hero plenty as well, and I think almost every pro team knows how to deal with him. which is why you normally see him as like a third or a fourth pick when the first few picks have gone through, the lineups are shaping a bit, and you don't want to reveal too much. But when you first pick him, you can really regret it.
It's also because he's just really consistent and all, like in the nature of the hero. They are very confident in leaving paparazzi alone. Who knows? Maybe he might even still end up winning the 1v1 against XXS. Like we've seen, like I mentioned. I mean, I'm just saying, man. He could come up like some really sick outplay if he gets a few lucky
maybe
crits.
Maybe he crits 5 times in a row. I don't know.
Hey,
we can hope.
We've seen something similar. He like 2 to 3 crits just now against XXS. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's almost as if this guy has like an extra hotkey just for crits on the jug. Or maybe he's just one of those players who really learn how to calculate when the crit's gonna come. But IG, okay, gonna respect ban the in July Bat Rider as well. So, I mean, combining with Disrupted, that can be really annoying. So, okay. That pick. IG, what else do you go? They might even just last pick queues here again.
I think they want to support now.
Do they?
They want to see like more of IG's cores. Or even just for support makes a big difference. Because in this situation, you have the luxury of like last picking your mid hero if you want it. So you kind of want to feel out the information as opposed to just picking a core now.
But wouldn't you want to keep that 5 just in case as a countermeasure instead of using a core?
5s generally have the least impact in the game, so you'd rather use the information to pick something that has higher impact. If Q deems his hero is going to be very, very important this game, then that's his call. But for the most part, last pick favors teams leaving their carry or mid to the last pick.
Alright, so it looks like you were right. They go back for that Rubik. I mean, to a certain extent, Rubik's almost like a walking pipe. Because Nullfield, I know it's been secretly getting buffed over time. It used to be like, what, 7% or something, but now it's like level 1, 10%. That's actually quite significant if you want to count the tiny details.
Rubik's just a good hero. Like, you almost are always happy to have it on your team.
5 seconds remaining.
Great spells to steal here as well so far. I mean, I can steal Omni Slash, Healing Ward would be great, even the spin.
Reserve time.
Any jug spell is good. Any disruptor spell barring the nuke is good. Any bounty spell barring the nuke is good.
Shit, this is going to be a bounty versus Ricky game. Classic.
I think this is where the Ricky player shines a lot. He just... Whenever I've seen Bobica in like these 4-position battles, he seems to come out on top. It's normally when he's playing against a Monkey King because he just kind of understands where the hero's going to be and he just thinks, what would I do? And then does something to deal with it.
So he gets inside your head. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much.
10 seconds remaining.
Sounds like a lot of effort, a lot of energy put in, but I guess, when you're playing the Ricky, you have all that time invis, you do have the luxury of at least that couple of seconds to quickly think out your actions. But IG, okay, we've seen this hero banned out. Usually by the second phase, we never see this hero get through. So, it's actually going to be a TA for IG. Vengeance coming?
For the last pick, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, it might actually work out, right? I mean, negative armor, you combine that with a TA. That right click is going to be very, very painful. Especially on heroes like Disruptor and Bounty.
Tide Hunter.
Oh... okay, don't get triggered, PQ. Don't get triggered. I know you don't like this hero. Don't get triggered.
It's a better game than it was the last time we saw it played. The hard counter to the hero is on his team this time instead of on the enemy team. Ricky's still annoying, but it's a lot easier to deal with.
Rubik, steal that Ravage. Do it. Wow, DP ban.
That makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't pick this Tide hero if you don't want some kind of like push or objective taking afterwards, and DP fits that really well. She's also a really, really annoying hero for TA to lane against. Makes it really hard for Ricky to roam and get anything done in the mid lane. It's a really smart ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Ember Spirit.
Ooh, to pick up the Ember. Okay, I like this pick against TA. Flame God can depending on who wins the creep equilibrium. It pretty much burns out the refractions quite nicely. And yeah, I mean, I think that was a period of time like some TA players, they thought they could outplay the Ember
10
when it first came out in the
remaining.
Magic build, but I like this change. So, well, I like the
5
matchup now. It
seconds
seems a bit more
remaining.
even. It places a lot more emphasis on the mid. So, IG, what would they go for?
10
Sven taken
seconds
out, no
remaining.
surprise. But okay, going back for the Ursa, that's one here to take care of your Ember, Spirit, and Jug.
It's less about taking care of the Ember and like a hero that just dismantles Tide in the lane. Because what IG want to accomplish this game is they want to get their Axe as fat as possible, whether that's giving him the jungle and not putting him in lane, or assisting him with the Riki from minute 1. Either or work. But if they want to put him in the jungle, that frees up Riki to help the TA mid, which is the more volatile matchup this game. And Ursa can just sit bottom with a Rubik zoning the Tide, and they're going to be really happy with that. If Bounty's not bottom, their safe lane is completely safe. And it also gives them
10
just
seconds
the
remaining.
dominant Roche area. Not necessarily through teamfight, but just through like
5
speed of
seconds
taking
remaining.
it. And they only need 1 hero, maybe 2, to commit to actually getting it. Which is where IG might have issues. iG.V, sorry. I keep forgetting.
Okay, so regarding this Tidehunter game, you say it's a better game than the previous time because of the Disruptor. Is there anything else we should be looking out for? I mean, like, there's always the threat of, you blink into a smoke cloud by accident, or Axe just catches you, and they can actually blow you up really quickly with the Ursa as well.
I still stand by the fact it's a horrible pick. They obviously know something I don't. It's just like in this game, right? IG, the main squad, they have a lot of. It's similar to the first game where they aren't necessarily built around overwhelming teamfight. They want like these small skirmishes, and Tide is not good at small skirmishes. He's either overwhelming teamfight or walking auras, depending what he builds, whether it's like pipe, mech, that kind of stuff. This game you probably won't see a pipe. There's very little reason for it. But he's a tank, and he doesn't provide too much in those small skirmishes if his cores don't like have an overwhelming advantage. Whereas heroes like Axe on the off lane right now, they do so much for you. Like, this hero is constantly relevant throughout all the engagements, and a 2-3 hero call is actually better than a 2-3 hero ravage. And you can do it multiple times a fight.
And also, like this rotation, when they put the Axe against the Tidehunter, it means Tide's gonna have a really tough time. How is there any way Tidehunter actually gets something out of this matchup against the Axe? Because it almost feels like if the Axe has even 1 level advantage, she's just gonna walk all over this Tide and force him into the jungle.
30 seconds to battle.
I think it's actually fine matchup for Tide, because normally what happens with Axe is you aggro the hero, you push the creeps into him, and then you farm the hard camp, or you pull the hard camp. If the wave gets under Tide's tower, he's decent at last hitting through the anchor smash, even though he went for this really early point in Gush, so I'm not too sure he expects this matchup.
Could have been a misclick as well.
They're going to find out now with the Axe being down here.
The battle begins.
They're going to know what's up with the lanes. I think it's pretty smart from IG.
Oh, Dogfights actually stole the bounty rune.
Yeah, they get the 2-2 split. Not too big of a deal.
Right, so they actually rotate the Tide straight back to the top. With those boots, he will get there in a pretty decent timing. And Paparazzi and Cole will just go back to the bottom lane. And I don't think Axe will be too surprised, because he should anticipate this.
Yeah, they know what's happening. But being in your safe lane, sure you lack the shrine, but you have a much easier time pulling the wave, getting experience, getting your levels. Because this lane can actually kill you once Jug gets like level 3 or phase boots. There's certain windows
They're
where you
just
have to
going
be
for it
really
right
scared.
away. Like, they just want to assert dominance. And XXS
they're just gonna burn
actually
it
very
fast.
low. If they can find the right click, a first blood already
Wow.
going to super. You said level 3, but hey, they don't even care. They're just like, I want it, I'll take it now. And this is how Paparazzi wins games. He was sacrifice CS going for the kills. Dogfights middle lane. Actually, oh, they kill. Wait, not middle lane. Top lane. They kill Q. Well, that level 1 Gush.
Oh, that's a 6 start for them.
And he gets the whole creep wave as well. Right to the creep wave. This bounty hunter paying off already as it is, you know, with the Orb of Venom.
I find it's normally a bit easier to have early impact on this hero than it is on a Riki. Maybe that's just like preference, but whenever I've played the two heroes I always feel like I'm
Dire's top tower is
able
under
to do
attack.
more with the bounty earlier.
They put
Riki
his-
gets online a bit more once he gets like boots, level 4, up 3 depending how you skill. But he can be really annoying like he is at the moment, but this is not exactly what IG want.
taking a bit of
I-
harassment. He really can't do anything here. Like, they're trying to contest the camps basically. And okay, Paparazzi at least he gets the creep wave coming in. This should push in his favor. Once he gets the level 3 spin, that might be a bit of an issue for the Axe because they have more than enough damage. Dogfights. Steals the bounty rate right on the Q's nose. We'll get the Janata slow as well. You don't want to be trading hits, Q. You're still level 1. Bounty's gonna actually bring him down to half HP. Man, you can just look at Bobica and Dogfights. It's basically like the battle of who steals the bounty and who can get as much harassment damage out. It's really fun to watch actually between the two of them.
Battle of the annoying little shits.
Oh, they're going for the spin one more time. They want to kill the Axe, but they will know. He will know. Like, if that spin is barely tickling the Axe this time, it's not going to be nearly enough damage. And Bobica doing Bobica things. Yesterday we also said, or rather I said, that he basically gets a courier snipe every game. It's bound to happen.
He plays for it a lot though,
The rune of
and in this case it definitely pays off.
I mean, on the bright side, at least Ember has his bottle, so he's not going to be too concerned. In July, actually does take straight to the jungle. Man, I always feel like it's so sad when your enemy carry is farming the off lane, like his off lane, more freely than your safe lane. And Paparazzi, they do find XXS one more time. Looks like they actually might find Bobica. One more record. Yeah, the Thunderstrike will finish him off. One more. Bang. So they get 1 kill each. This aggro lane is really paying off for iG.V. Much better than I thought. But then again, we saw this back in game 1.
Yeah, the fact they managed to get this lane is helping them a lot. Because the last thing you'd want is the Tide and the Axe maxing against each other. So at least this way you slow the Axe down a decent amount. But he still might be dying a bit, but he's doing much better than the Tide.
Yes,
You know, he's a full level above, he's got
Twice
a
the
bit
CS.
more... Yeah, his net worth's 100 difference, but he's going to farm way faster than a Tide. It's more about like the levels and the fact he's actually pressuring the jug. Whereas the Ursa, he doesn't really care if the Tide's in the lane or not. So what they're doing is trying to be as economical as possible, where the Tide goes to the woods and gives Bounty the lane. Because him getting level 6 quicker this game could be a really big determining factor.
Ooh, top lane, they are thinking about going into Q. Injuly is just going to pretend that he did not see him. But it was night vision, so I don't think Dogfight saw him. He's just going to walk back to the lane, take up the creeps instead. But Ricky's here as well.
They could dive this if they wanted.
Can they? Okay, he's only level 3. That's level 1 Kraken. I think they have enough, right?
Get away, you.
It's just how scared they are of rotations. Like, we can see no one has a TP other than the Bounty.
Rune of regeneration.
They might not have that information. Or they might not just not deem it worth it because Ursa's going to have to burn a lot of regen.
Bottom lane again,
probably a shrine.
XXS. Third death in a row. Oh, gets the call, but that extra bonus armor will not be enough as Paparazzi just cuts him down. So you have an Aquila on the way back up for Paparazzi. CS, well, he's made up of it with 2 kills in this lane already. So he's having a really good time. You know, Bobica just playing around with July. He knows that he's farming, so he sees this. We'll go back to the middle lane. Oh, wow. They actually get the kill, but the return kill will go to OP.
That was so close. I think he cancelled one of his auto attacks, which actually stopped the Ember dying before he did. But considering the Riki hasn't been in his lane, he's got a sizable lead. You know, 700 gold over the Ember. Personally, I've always favored TA in the matchup. It feels a lot better to play.
Oh, they finally take care of iG.V. They know that he was jungling. They actually go into the jungle to hunt him down. But Bobica and Dogfights, they're so close to each other, they just don't see this Dogfights. Maybe get some Janata damage off. Probably just wants to full clarity to like really get some
They
regen
have
in.
no detection.
The slow, they want to go into Sakata. Do they have the smoke cloud? Yes, they do. Sakata should be going down here. One more. Down he goes. Gush is going to go into the Ricky. He will die to the Yankee Smash, but Q should be following him to the grave. I think he should be. The Shuriken Toss. They have a Gush in 3. I think they can actually... Yeah, they can dive this. Gush. Oh, night vision. Night vision. The juke around from Q. Now the Gush will come out, and iG.V gets himself a kill. The Dogfight is going to be there. The cloud's going to slow him down one more time. iG.V should be dying. Yes. No, the Kraken Shell.
Second trap.
Alright, iG.V now he finally goes down. Plenty of space created. And the bright side is Paparazzi gets a full lane to himself. At least until someone walks back in.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he STP'd, but in the end it does end up being worth him trading. 'Cause he buys that time.
Burning didn't TP as well, so he's gonna have Vladimir's offering on the way up. Okay, so 48. This game definitely more active, more quick-paced compared to game 1, and you did call it from the draft. So, well, with the phase boots down, Paparazzi he has so much more kill potential on any set sort who just walks in. Has Omni
You
Slash.
don't want to be in this lane right now.
Don't forget Omni Slash. Oh, Bernie, he pops his own dust. He sees Dogfights. He's going for the kill here. Tasty even pops the Enrage. 1, 2, almost. And Earth Shock will finish him off. But Paparazzi has an Omni Slash.
Time for some jukes burning.
He sticks the Bounty Rune. Face boots. No. Here comes Sakata. And they won't even use the Omni Slash. They just use the Remnant and get him down. But bottom lane XXS, they kill Super. So at least they find themselves one return kill.
Yeah, it's good they get the punish. Unfortunately, the Ursa dying it works really well for IG here, where they get a pretty free lane swap. They also don't burn the Omni, which makes it very hard to go into this Jugs lane and actually contest him with any hero. So they'll probably just default to like either the Ricky being up there on his own, or Axe goes to the jungle and Ricky starts getting active.
XXS gonna get a couple of hits in onto iG.V.
And this could be really good for them. They know the Axe.
Q, the glimpse back. Q, oh, the call is off the mark. They're gonna right click him down, and yes, they will. iG.V actually gets the kill. I think they can look for XXS. Do they have a Gush? Not enough mana in iG.V, but Sakata come back in. Of course, he's just gonna salve back up. So iG.V actually being more dominating this game. And the other ones, now they also go with the efficient shrine up. They can go back for round 2. They go for a smoke. That might be broken by Baboka though. Baboka breaks the smoke. Oh, iG.V, where's the detection? They pop the dust. They know the Baboka's over there. The Remnant's gonna go to the top. But Baboka in the smoke, he's going for the optimistic TP out. The glimpse back, very, very unfortunate for him. But still, he dying means his TA lives. So that's a good thing.
In the grand scheme of things, tanking the smoke gank, letting your TA get bigger is very important. Because right now, the Vitality squad's probably feeling a lot better at the game than it actually looks for them, because this TA is getting really, really big really quickly. Like 12-minute death though for this hero if she doesn't die. And that's going to be really hard for them to deal with, because it's going to be similar to last game, where Jug, he tanks a meld hit, he's half dead. Ember, same thing. And then they don't really have this hero other than Tide, who, sure he's tanky, but he's not tanky with a presence.
Well, maybe he might
don't
die
really care
here.
about the
OP, he's
Ravage.
going back in for the big one. Oh, not even use the static stone for this. The spin, Jug. Should he get a kill? Actually, Super gets it. Alright. Sakata tried to go in with the slight of this kill, but looks like it wouldn't be a 12-minute Deso anymore, but still he is very, very big. Top of the net worth. A full 700 ahead of the Jug. 2k above your Ember Spirit. Boka, well, he spots out that they're using the Shrine. If anything, he can try and leech a bit of EXP. Take a bit risky. We haven't seen a Ravage yet, too.
He didn't skill it at 6, so that's probably why. Going for the more efficient build, trying to kill the Ancient.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And this is a window where iG.V can actually exploit the
Dire's bottom tower is
lack of
under attack.
items that iG have. Like, the Ursa hasn't finished anything. The axes.
It looks like they want to fight though. Yeah, they want to contest the tower. Lift back into the call maybe. XXS. Yeah, there we go. Then they find the Ember Spirit. And even more than enough right clicks to glimpse. It's not going to do anything. Burning. Yo, he was very, very angry. He took Sakata out so quickly.
Wasn't there Tide like here? When I last checked, he was like walking over to the mid lane. I guess they decided he didn't need to be there, and it ends up biting them in the ass.
Radiant's bottom tower
I remember
is
that.
under
No, I remember
attack.
him being at the Ancients area. He was walking to the bottom lane, farming under the tier 1, and I guess they just really want the mech on him first.
No, like he hit this camp, he walked this way, and then I think his team was like, or he himself said, "I'm not coming," and then because they see that iG can actually defend the tower. That was a 100% free tower with no rebuttal from iG if the Tide was there.
Well, but they still
Instead,
get
they
it
end up
anyways.
tanking a death. So, a bit of
Radiant's
unnecessary
bottom tower
bleeding.
is under attack.
I suppose for Tide, getting farm is almost worth your Ember dying, because the mech's going to be a really huge window for them. Because the TA still hasn't finished her item. They don't know that X Blink wasn't up when the mech got bought, so it makes it like about as good of a window as they could foreseeably hope for.
Alright, so mech completed.
I
into
still
the
don't
Tide.
think they can fight into the mech.
They can't. The mech, the Ravage. How do you fight into this? XXS, yeah, he has a Blink Dagger now. After that kill.
And the track.
Oh, that's true. That's big. Oh, he's going straight to the bottom lane. Of course, they have the cloud from Buboka. No way you get out from this. Won't even get the culling blade off. So that's a nice way to show their blink. And iG Vitality. This is a hard game to be an Ember. He's in the bottom
Radiant
half of the net worth right
structures
now.
are fortified.
Yeah, this is not.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It feels bad, man. Like, I play this hero quite a lot, and when you get in this situation, you just feel so
Dire's middle
useless.
tower is under attack.
And you're playing against
Radiant's top
heroes that
tower
have
is
so
under
much
attack.
physical damage,
Dire's bottom tower
Waiting
and there's so
around.
much catch for you. It's just scary in general.
Oh, someone's going to TP in.
Dire's middle tower
Might find
has fallen.
Paparazzi. Yes, there they will find the call. And of course, they have the right clicks. The damage is there. Paparazzi goes down.
That's
The Remnant are
TA.
going in. Oh, XXS will die. In July, they have the Ravage, and this is where they have to back off. Of course, they get the glimpse back onto Q. Nothing much you can really do. Just lifting up Sakata in the air. Get a view of the clouds. But it'll be a 2-for-1 trade. You're losing your Axe and the Rubik for a Juggernaut kill.
I think I'd be quite happy with that, considering
Gold
they get the tier 1 mid tower. And their TA is halfway towards a blink now. I also like the fact Burning opted to forgo his either Vlad or Mom upgrade, whichever one he wanted to go for. He picked up a blink, which makes him a lot more active and scary early.
They used a scan. They knew that someone was there. Hopping
Yeah, they got the
dust.
chicken sniped.
Great TP out from Baboka. I mean, this is the second career sniper already, and if anything, they're looking to contest Roshan right now. I don't think iG can actually do this. You don't have enough mana on Burning, and at the same time, Ravage is still up.
I actually just want to like put enough presence around the pit to make like iG.V can't take Rosh. There's just no way in hell they take Rosh if the other team isn't dead for like 50 seconds each. So it's all about them controlling the pit if they think iG are going in for it.
Well, iG, OP, now he has a Blink Dagger. He is going to be able to destroy some of these heroes. He can just TP to the back line, or blink to the back line and just kill them off. That's how high his damage output is right now compared to some of the iG.V heroes. Like Sakata, still trying to build to his boost of travel. Gonna check out the Roshan, won't find it, so they're just gonna take out the trap. I'm pretty sure Invictus Gaming have an idea of what's going on. Like, they know iG.V are committing resources to protect around this pit,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower is under
there's just
attack.
no way.
It doesn't matter for them.
Yeah, they don't care.
Like, as long as they don't fight into this 5-man, they're happy.
I'll take that as tribute.
Okay.
And you see how they want to play. They're just splitting the lanes, and the Ricky's scouting for potential TPs. And the second the game becomes Vitality reacting with TPs to try and defend towers, IG will exploit that a lot. They just have a lot. Again, similar to first game, their catch is just better. Whereas Vitality's team fight is kind of all they're banking on. They have some nice quirky things with like the track and glimpse, but for the most part, their initiation is, again, their cores walking down a lane.
And they can't allow OP to keep farming like this. Like he's going to build his way towards a BKB. If he gets
I
that,
don't think they can stop him.
Ravage is not going to matter if he has a BKB. He can just shred apart it. I think he has enough damage to take out the Tidehunter as well. Let me correct me if I'm wrong. And Tide, you know, because one blink is not enough, he's going to try. He just puts 2 in his quick buy just for the fun of it.
Same thing with Ursa though. Like when he gets BKB, Tide's a way to stop the. Like, it doesn't actually matter if the axe initiates, gets his call off. It doesn't matter if you stun him. BKB on both cores. So he either has to wait with the Ravage or he's just a walking mech. And I know I hate on this hero a lot, and I used to really like the hero, but that was back at like TI4 when team fighting was all the rage with long cooldowns.
TI4? And those... That was
I like
arguably
TI4, man.
You did? I don't know, I find that it was a really...
People are haters.
People want
the thing
entertainment.
is, the games were over in 15 minutes.
Baboka, he has the tricks of the trade, the dust is going to be popped, now he will use that tricks of the trade, but I don't think it'll be enough. He's going to put the counter to himself, but the Searing Chains will kill him off. And, alright, so they find themselves one kill, but still, Baboka has pretty much accomplished what he needed to do, and that is get info, get intel, and this allows IG to take the Roshan, because look at the deep wards placed from him. He knows exactly where iG.V are the whole time, which makes things very, very easy for IG and the rest of the team to basically decide on their next movements across the map.
Yeah, they just got baited. And now it gets to the point where they have items that allow them to fight into iG.V. The Ravage is, we're talking about when they get BKBs, but the Aegis massively speeds that up. I don't think they actually have the damage to kill the Ursa from 100 to 0, unless all the Omnis hits connect on him in a Ravage, which is very unlikely. So then he's probably going to pop in rage, so the TA is going to feel pretty comfortable because she's also pretty tanky, being pretty high level.
It's not unlikely, PQ, you have to believe. Sometimes in life you just have to have faith. And now going for the call immediately onto Sakata. Do they have enough damage? The Blade Mill, I think it will be, but the mech is going to keep Sakata alive. Now they even use the Ravage for this going to turn around kill. He's going to Remnant now, and he will get the kill to XXS, but that may be costing him his life. He doesn't have a Remnant anymore. Angela is really, really low. Burning kills off Super. Can he kill Paparazzi here? Yes, they can. Actually, they cancel it. Ooh, stolen Chainsaw Q. Can they look for a bit more? No, immediate TP response out. And Dogfights, he's going to be okay. They pop the dust, won't find it, and that's going to be the 1-for-2 trade. And they didn't lose the Aegis.
Bad. I think that's... It perfectly illustrates this state of the game where Vitality feel like they have to blow Ravage on one hero and then try and get out because they know they can't fight into this Aegis. And when they picked a lineup that...
Oh, they used the Static Storm for this. That's a lot of hate for Baboka. They even put a sentry down just to make sure that he doesn't have a ward over there. And, well, this opens up the map a bit more for IG. But without Baboka, they do not feel that confident. I don't know, I feel like this is a mistake. Because they don't have Ravage, they don't have Omni Slash, they don't have Static Storm, and they have Aegis. I feel like they still could take this. Or at least force a fight.
Maybe. It's just like... It's unnecessary risk, right? Chinese Dota. OP's about to finish his BKB, they don't have their Ricky. Vitality were blatantly set up in the area. I agree with you, I would have seen that as a big window for them, but this is better safe than sorry. And it seems to work for them, so I'm not going to argue with it. It's not like they have to end the game now. They've got plenty of time. So they don't need to feel pressured at all.
Right, so now 11 to 17, we take a look at the net worth graph. It's a bit of a 4,000 favoring IG, no surprise there. I mean, tower kills were pretty even, but they did get the Roshan, and they actually have the net worth lead despite being 6 kills behind. EXP wise a bit higher, almost 6,000 favoring IG. iG.V actually look like they want to fight because Ravage is coming off cooldown in 18 seconds.
They don't know about the BKB though. At least not yet.
Okay,
They will now.
he's going to take out the creep wave, but XXS, he's looking for a fight, looking for the call. Super might think about glimpsing him back. But there's just no more cash, and they'll just back off. No way to push into this. Or actually, they want to set up for bait, maybe? Bait a fight. They know that they're Ravaged, but actually, no. They already saw the BKB. They don't want to take the risk. With Aegis as well, that's definitely not a risk you want to take.
They
Oh,
do
do
know
they?
the Ricky isn't there.
Hold on. Dogfights. He sees XXS. Wow, this outflank maneuver going ring around a Rosie. XXS going to try to tank kick. The Ravage is going to connect it to 2. And down goes XXS. Looks like they will find Q as well. The track kills are slowly piling up. And iG.V will revel in the cash. But okay, now Q finally goes down. But looking at Super dies to OP very, very easily. They're looking for something. No, they won't get it. But actually, no, Burning still has. Does he believe? No, he does not. Dogfights. Doesn't have a windwalk. He's caught inside the cloud. The right click is too strong. He's gonna go down to Burning, and alright, he gets out, or rather he does almost get out. And it's gonna be a 2-for-2 trade favoring IG. OP that still has that Aegis to himself.
It's gonna tick out by the time they get to the tower, I think. But this is now where they have like this huge window, where they know Ravage is down, the Axe is gonna spawn in conjunction with the Rubik. They can take this tower without them, then they can rock around to the mid, take the second tier 2 while they know there's no Ravage. Even without the Aegis, they should feel pretty comfortable. The TA still has her BKB available.
Death's bounty.
And all their damage is magic, other than Omni Slash. So she can feel immortal throughout that. And as Burnish, yeah, he has finished his, it's on the way now, so this is like perfect timing for IG.
Oh, this is really bad with all these 10-second BKBs coming up. But no Aegis. Okay, now they get the lift. They're gonna try to go for the call right here. They want to kill it in July. But XXS trapped inside the Static Storm with Baboka. They don't have a Ravage. They're gonna commit the Remnants for this. XXS actually will die to the Shuriken Toss. Bunny killing off Super. Will get glimpsed back. So he says thank you for that. He doesn't even care. And he still has his 10-second BKB. They know the Dogfight is in the area. They won't find him. And Paparazzi also still around. Do they actually try to go back in? Immediately getting out. The triple track, disruptive buys back. They want to find some of the double steering chains. Really good fight here, I think. With the anchor smash, they will find Q. OP doesn't have an Aegis. He'll be him against the wall, and they've cornered him. The buyback from Super, very, very worth it. And just like that, IG Vitality pulled themselves back into this game with a very nice 1300 gold swing.
Oh, that was just a horrible jump from IG. Like, the Ricky was doing his job scouting. The Axe decides to go on a Tide who... They know he doesn't have Ravage. They could have jumped the Ember instead, maybe blown this hero up instead. They kind of play into Vitality's hands. And that was a really big chance for them.
Go for a call into Paparazzi who did juke it with the man to dodge, and he will pay for it with his life. You don't jump on Paparazzi like that. And he's going to spend another 45 seconds back in the fountain.
That's a pretty big throw.
Has to be a throw, no matter how you see it. So Sakata's going to just TP run into tier 3 tower, leaving the Remnant behind. He's like, whatever, man. And now in July has Ravage back up. Super Static Storm as well. This is really, really bad for IG. Man,
They should be able to defend when their Axe gets up.
Oh, the glimpse back. Oh, dodges into the tricks of the trade, but it's okay. He'll still end up back at the bottom lane. He has to quickly run back with those little phase boots. But Boka, run. Time to see that Usain bot, but iG.V, they're gonna run back. Do they have anything to catch? I don't think so. He's actually just gonna get out, and OP, maybe now without the Jug who's all the way at the bottom lane, they could try to force the issue here, but they didn't have any vision out of the base.
They want to kill the Ricky, but I think the track's gonna wear off by the time Ember gets here.
Do they? Are you sure? I don't think so.
Oh wow, that was close.
Just one Remnant.
Discover what lies beyond.
Poor Ricky, man. He's
He's
had a
bad,
really
man.
horrible game.
Support lives. Long live Baboka.
He's dead, man. He ain't ever coming back.
This is one of his really sad games. He's 1-6-5, considering that this hero is one of his trademark heroes. He's played it since the beginning of this roster, so It's quite sad to see it like that. But then again, Dogfights has had a really good game at Bounty Hunter. Like, he's coming up with Crimson Guard very soon. That's going to help a lot against the TA and the Ursa. So, and he has a Solar Crest to boot. So, this could also, to a certain extent, increase their Roshan potential. Middle lane, they go here into the Tidehunter. You are tanky, but not that tanky. Hold on, Kraken Shell.
Dire's top tower.
Wow, he's not dying. The extra armor coming up with the Guardian Greaves, that's quite significant, but I think they want to fight. If you can purge off the, or once the Battle Hunger expires, they might even think about going back in. Shuriken Toss bouncing around XXS, still wants to fight. But iG.V, now they're thinking about going back in.
That was a big move.
Tide's just shining up, they want to fight, and okay, Bunny finds himself one kill. But if they bait them up just a bit more up the stairs, I'm pretty sure iG.V can find a fight they were looking for. You can see in July, he wants to go back in. Looking for the Ravage, they will wait on the high ground. Trying to use that terrain advantage, but the track, they know where IG are.
Having the track on Axe is really, really important.
You can
for
Ravage
to be
them
able
right now.
to-
It's a 5-man Ravage, but they won't take the risk. Calculated Dota, and tier 2 tower will go to OP.
And now they can swing by the rush. And they're going to take it quick enough that maybe Vitality aren't going to have any say in this. Second Aegis towards TA? Yeah, TA.
Bloodthorn on the way. The Bloodthorn's gonna be so big against in July.
I think just all of them, honestly. Like the Tide can grease it off, so it's less important, but Bloodthorn's just a good item. Very good item.
Alright, so top lane, they were gonna find themselves a tier 2 tower as IG.
Dire's top tower is
They're still
under
they're still in this game, aren't they? Like, as long as this TA remains so found, there's just no way they messed it up. And okay, I heard a call, but I'm not sure what XXS was doing. Maybe he
He's
thought
faking.
Dogfights was around?
I mean, they're still in control of the game. They had a big oops moment, but all big teams have that where they make a mistake in a game. It's very, very rare anyone plays a flawless game. And if they do, it's generally because their opposition never puts them under any pressure. And they very quickly realized they made their mistake. They fixed it, they got Roche, they're back on track. The X has nearly got his BKB as well.
But how do you push
If
high
they
ground
want
here?
to wait, you just put the TA in front. I'm not sure they want to push high ground though, because that's the riskiest thing they could be doing right now.
Burning. He may have just found Sakata, who's actually, he does Remnants back out, just playing around with Burning, reminding him, saying, I'm here. So now that he has a Basher, if he can actually get a lucky bash into the Ember Spirit, that actually might be a kill. Sakata is not that tanky, with only 1500 HP to the Ursa's damage.
He does have quite a bit of armor though, so with the plate mail it's not as easy as it was previously.
And this game is so intense. You can tell that iG.V want to force the game 3, but IG, obviously, of course, they don't want to be giving that away. But Boka's going to walk up, try and scout a couple of heroes out, but he won't find anything.
And they gotta play for that bragging right.
Dogfights has a gem. He has a gem. He knows that Baboka's there. He knows Q and XXS are also there. But they're just running. Ursa so far behind though. Paparazzi will spin.
He's very dead.
Is he though? Oh, misses
wow.
the call. Wow, the juke from Paparazzi. And forced that
He
forward.
hesitated so much. He could have just gone for that. I think he was maybe worried about Manta dodge or something, but
Could have been worried about a Ravage as well.
yeah, I suppose sometimes it's easy to forget that spectator vision makes you extremely biased.
I'll take that as tribute.
Alright, so iG.V biding their time, and this Ravage, the longer they wait it out, I would say the less useful this Ravage actually becomes unless he gets to the point of a Refresher Orb. But he's actually going for a Shiva's Guard. Was this okay? I thought Ember was going for Shiva's already.
Yeah, multiple Shivas is fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The aura is less important than like the armor to the hero and the kiting tool. That being said, I still think they need a Yules. I thought it would be the bounty's job, but I suppose it's too late because Axe has a BKB now, so you can't actually Yule the hero when he goes on the jug.
And now,
It's
ooh, big item here.
gonna be
TA.
hard.
Now you have the Bloodthorn as well. Heroes like Ember need to be very, very careful, and if he times the Manta wrong, Paparazzi will also die very, very quickly to this right click because this TA used to hurt like a truck, now hurts like a tank.
Aren't tanks normally the ones taking the hits?
Okay, so you call him a Jeep? I don't know.
Dude, Jeeps don't have big guns. That's even worse.
I think it depends on what kind of Jeep. Okay, what do you call those APCs or something like that? I guess they kind of count? Like they just ram you?
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Oh,
This is a
Super!
very
Super,
dead
what are you
disruptor.
doing? What?
That's scouting information.
Space created? I don't know. That was the most random TPN. He was just like, guys, I'm gonna ward, and no, he just dies. Leroy Jenkins. But of course, iG.V, you know, they were smart. They were smart enough not to TPN. If they had TPN in as well, they'd be like the biggest buffet, the biggest throw out there.
It's a small loss in the end. It is only a disruptor.
So it looks like they are going to successfully wait out the Aegis. OP with this Invis rune. I think they want to try for the top, but Sakata immediately gets out. Great reflexes. He's just keeping money for buyback. He has enough for the Shiva's guard already. Doesn't want to really spend too much yet. And
I think I'd buy it. I don't think you need buyback at this stage of the game. Mostly because Roche isn't a factor for a few minutes. And Shiva's is a big ticket item. Yeah, there we go. He buys. He agrees. Buyback is for pussies.
alright, so you guys heard it here first, you know? Well, not first. But buyback is for pussies. You know no one needs buyback in games. What's it for? But
Yeah, I mean, it's for bad players who die.
you won't need buyback if you don't die.
Unless you're baiting, you know, and then you bait their spells, then you buy back, and then you kill all of them. That's acceptable.
Okay, but I guess like unless you're a Spectre, that's very unlikely. Or maybe like a Morphling who still has a replicate around with a good duration. But XXS, do they know Dogfights is around? Do they have the gem? Yes, they do. But Dogfights is okay with that. They're perfectly fine with that. It's just a bounty. But he doesn't have
It's a
buyback.
gem, though.
It's a gem? Oh, right. Oh, this is...
Yeah, IG picked up one of their own on the Ricky, and now they have the second gem as well.
Alright,
But I believe Vitality's gem should be up, though you can't see as a spectator with the smokes and gem cooldown anymore. But they bought that ages ago, so it should be soon.
Looking in July,
If they
he
want
has
to.
the Ravage. And they will get some good chip damage, at least onto the tier 3 tower. It's really down to 50% HP. The Ravage comes in, connecting with the 3. And immediately they will bring the TA down. Oh, doesn't have the Aegis, and the BKB did not really help. XXS gonna get a glimpse back. Blinked out, popping the BKB. He mistimed it. Oh shit. But Q getting the lift up. Looks like they will try and kill Sakata over here. Bunny popping his own BKB. He's gonna try wrecking someone down. Who can he wreck? He needs to get out. Was he stuck? XXS now turning around. Paul. They get Paparazzi. Can they kill him off? Yes, they can. They get the dunk. Will they find in July? Bunny's still very healthy in terms of the HP, but they will finally bring the axe down. Here comes the Sakata back. Bang! Down goes Bunny, toasting it up. And that's going to be the full team wipe as IG Vitality completely revitalized.
Maybe he wasn't watching his screen, but the axe had a...
That explains why he was AFK. Like, I remember, like, in between these two trees, he had, like, this moment where his BKB was on. I was like, why is he not moving? But now he reconnects. Where's the color spam when you need it?
I don't think that was a problem. The problem was the axe got caught in the initial Ravage. And it was like... The TA got point blank ravaged, so that's hard to BKB. You have to be really, really quick and also know it's coming. But the axe was like half a screen away. He could have BKB'd that if he wanted to, or if he like wasn't watching his screen. Then it's just unfortunate. But it was also really far up. Like you normally want your counter initiate not on the same screen as the hero that's going to get jumped, which is going to be your TA because you're putting her on the front lines. And then if she gets ravaged, you just blink when the jug goes on her, and you can save him. Maybe. If not, you tank half the Omni, and then you just pray.
Gold for me.
But with how it worked out, Vitality got the perfect jump. And they lost their jug because they chased a bit too much, but overall, they'll be super happy with that. Because now their Ember is really becoming a factor. And they just got a good amount of gold from the track. Which is one thing we haven't really talked about this game, but every time they get a kill, they're getting a lot more value out of it than they otherwise would.
I think that's also why like some Chinese teams back then used to really favor Bounty Hunter because of the track goal. And I know it
used to be really broken.
Yeah, it was tweaked quite a lot, but still really good. I think back then like it gave you a good vision with the track. A lot though. So you would see Bounty Hunters like being picked up left, right, center. It used to be a first phase ban. I mean, not so much now, but the hero's still good.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just on its own, it doesn't do as much anymore. You used to get so much presence out of a team fight just through the track vision and like buying your mech and your supportive items, whereas now you want these heroes more like Ricky who actually do damage and they contribute more control and stuff to fights and they help their cause in ways that isn't just giving them buffs and giving them more money to buy items.
Right, so IG, they are at this standstill right now where they pretty much plateaued, but oh, they have a Ravage. IG, they need to be very careful in the way they approach this fight right now. Dogfights is basically just staying in front, making sure he gets at least enough intel. He wants to find the vision, he has the gem, don't forget.
Yeah, they both have gems, so it's all who blinks first.
So the steering change is going to be there. Does IG even take the risk of a smoke? If they die here, this would be a complete disaster.
Both teams have really good vision around the area, so it's all just going to be who sees what.
No, they're not going to take the risk. They don't want to fight into the unknown. If anything, they want to fight into something where they know they control the variables. IG as well, they refuse to cross the river. They're like, this is where we're comfortable, we're staying here, you're not going anywhere. MKB is going to come on into Burning, and it makes sense, especially since you have a Solar Crest on Bounty Hunter. Jug is actually going for Butterfly as well, so okay, I guess that makes sense. I would have thought you'd go for a Skadi for Burning.
The right click's the problem in this game, but I don't know, I'm always umming and ahhing about Jug builds. It's really just how he feels the game is going. And so far he's had a much better game than I'd have anticipated, considering IG's heroes. They all deal really well with him, and he's managed to come back from a really bad start as well.
P-God.
A bad mid game actually, like the start was good, but they kind of lost all their momentum after.
Now they go for a smoke. We'll see whether this man up move will actually pay off for IG as they head into the right direction this time for iG.V. Don't jinx it. Boca is going to be in front, getting them the vision, but XXS.
Finding the backlines is like super important here for them.
They can
This
kill
might
the
just
Tide
give them
first,
the edge.
but I'm not sure jumping the Tide is such a good idea. Of course, now they go for the call. Only into the Disruptor though, and they'll take care of him immediately. Taking care of the Bounty Hunter as well. There will be no track kills today. Not today, not today. And now they want to go into July. No Ravage going to be used here, I think. He's going to force himself forward, but with all these angry heroes going to be chasing him, and me and the rest of iG.V just scatter around and they just run off. So 3 heroes, great smoke coming out here from IG.
And you see the immediate response from both cores is just push the lanes as hard as you can, and then dodge. Considering the situation they were put in, they made a really good split-second decision. Their Ember didn't commit to the fight, and Paparazzi failed as soon as the fight looked bad. It does give them a Roshan, so for IG they'll still be really happy. They didn't need to find the core kills, they just needed enough of an advantage to secure this. And now it goes on their TA, and hopefully they can get a situation where they siege successfully for the first time.
Alright, so this game, how many back and forths have we had now? Like, I'm looking at the graph, it's basically gone up, down. No one has a clear advantage in this game for sure, and between the two squads, they know each other inside out. IG, I think maybe because you have Burning, who's so composed in these situations, but you have to give credit as well to whoever's shot calling on the side of IG. Like you said, that was a really good like split-second decision made from them.
Yeah, I actually have no clue who does it for Vitality. I'm guessing it's between the supports. But at a certain point, like, everyone calls stuff in game. There's very few people who remain silent the entire time and just listen.
And Boboka with the Blink Dagger. What's this next item? Do you see him going for a BKB as well? Do you see a Basher coming up? Basher into the Trickster trade could be pretty good, especially when you have a good call setup.
Yeah, I think BKB is not the item. He wants to try and play as aloof as possible in fights. BKB is more of a, I'm just going to get in your face tool. And with Tricks of the Trade, you have so many ways of maneuvering around the fights. Any form of control is good for you.
If they find Sakata here, I don't think they have enough damage though. He's already blinked, they know.
The cores are close, so maybe they can connect. If the Axe hits
they might.
dead.
They're going for the call right now, but immediate Remnant out, wow. Sakata, that was some sick game sense. How did he know? There were no wards. I mean, yeah, there was a sentry there, but it was nighttime. Was it? Okay, hold on, no. Did he have vision? I'm not even sure anymore.
I think that was just, he saw the Axe while he was slighted, or he was going to Remnant out anyway. Because the map was dodgy at that point. People had been off for a while. You're not sure where they are, so play safe. Especially when the other team has the Aegis and is looking to fight.
Tower now taking a couple of hits. The Solar Crest used onto OP. Yeah, he's going to miss a couple of shots, but they take the tower. This opens up the shrines. And not to mention, he still has the Aegis. That's a really big item.
It's just a matter of if they can use it for change. Because every time they've had Aegis so far, Vitality's done a really good job of isolating the target and burning the Aegis with kind of no rebuttal.
They've also been able to wait it out several times, right? Like, I don't think I've seen a fight where the Aegis has ever been significant.
No, they've just killed the hero and then killed him again.
But even in previous time, like, I remember like when they were sieging the tier 3, they just know how to dodge the fights every single time. Dodge the ganks, they dodge the smokes. So no real way to actually use the Aegis, even though IG, they tried for smokes of their own as well. So now they're just going to take the shrines, get some gold, boost the economy a bit, and iG.V play the waiting game. Because Tide really wants that refresh your orb. He's almost there as well.
Doesn't he have it? Or is my math bad? Is it 200 away? So if he really wanted, he could sell the Iron Talon. He would have money. And then that's a huge surprise factor for them. If they smoked, even with an Aegis and cheese into IG, double Ravage might just be enough.
He might be thinking about it if he can find a call.
He needs +1.
Oh, he has a Shadow Blade. Oh, I think he might. Oh, you saw the blink already.
Yeah, the TA is here.
TP's coming in to get the call. Oh my god, what the hell are those reflexes? Okay, that was sick. There was no way he knew.
Like, when the axe isn't showing, you just kind of know these things as a pro player. It's weird, but game sense is like incredibly hard to describe. That being said, his reactions to make it work is still pretty sick. Can he do it again?
No, he just wants to break the Lincolns first. So he goes back for the creep wave. But with the Tide so far behind, he already has to refresh your orb right now. He didn't even sell the Iron Talon for it, so they know. They could just go for a smoke.
His mana's an issue though if he doesn't heal up.
Probably might think about using the shrine or go back to the fountain for a bit. Game is rough right now, but burning, at least with the cheese, he might think about playing a bit more aggressively going into the next team fight, which might be coming up pretty soon, because both teams, obviously, they have certain win conditions, which they might feel comfortable or confident enough about, but it feels way too close to tell who actually has an edge right here. Execution is everything right now in the next engagement.
Normally you'd favor the team with the Aegis, but I really don't know. It kind of all comes down to the Ravages. If they connect, it's gonna win iG.V the fight if they get BKB'd and they lose their cores in the BKB duration.
TA,
It's a problem.
that's not the play, TA. You don't have an Aegis. You're gonna get the Searing Chains connecting him to him, but in July, now here comes the Ravage connecting him to 3. Did he steal a Ravage? No, he did not. Looking for the secondary Ravage. He doesn't even get XXS with the double call. And of course, in the backline, Super committing that Static Storm just for the Ricky. Not what he wanted, but now the secondary Ravage will come out. But burning in all his BKBs, everything's up. OP, is he finally gonna die? Yes, he will. But Boka's gonna finish off Super. But still, XXS, this is not the fight they were looking for. IG need to back up. He's gonna use him and just dispel that track. But burning in the world of hate. TA is gonna buy back. They want to fight this. They have to go. The Shuriken Toss is gonna bounce around. Kill Sakata. Get a lucky bash. Need to kill him off right now. Yes, they can. And of course, now they're gonna look for a bit more. Looking for the call. XXS, spin. He's gonna go for the Titan. Oh, off the mark. Dogfight. Now the buyback out from the Ember Spray. This is where they have to fight. They overextended just a bit too much. And if the Searing Chains cannot connect onto Q, of course the blink up and burning. But they know where he is. The track is still up there onto him. Who did they actually go for? Ember Spray looking for something else. He will get the Sleight of Fist kill. And now they want burning. They're looking for the big fuzzy bear. The Searing Chains will connect onto him. He doesn't have a BKB. He's gonna go right back in for dogfights. Doesn't have an ultimate. So the buyback from Sakata is really paying off here in this engagement. Secondary Ravage wasn't really very wow, but still the surprise factor was there, and that was more than enough. So that would be effectively a 5 for 2 trade. Oh, sorry, no, 4 for 2. 4 for 3 actually.
And it creates this huge window when the next double Ravage is up. If TA gets caught, no buyback, game can end very, very easily. Whereas it's a lot harder for IG to punish the Ember buying back. And I really like the idea for the TA to buy back in that fight.
They want to try and right-click the paparazzi on ASAP. But the Solar Crash, the dunk will be enough. The Glimpse back, sending running, okay, but now they want to go right here. He pops the BKB, going to try here to Super. They want to kill him in July, do everything damage. But now look at the act, he's going to go. He actually used that for dodging it. Juggernaut will buy. And the Static Storm will be enough to kill the TA. And there's no... Oh, that's a disaster. TA doesn't have buyback. And Burning, he already bought back for this. It's him against the wall. He's going to right-click everyone down. Not a call. It will not be enough to save Burning, and Burning should be dying here. Axe buys back, but that's all you can do. Vicky will come back up, and down goes Rubik. This should be GG here for Invictus. This is a disaster. It's iG.V. I think they're just taking game 2. Nothing they can do, but Boka's going to need to trade, get bash in, but that's all. And now Q will call the GG. IG Vitality. Their patience really paying off right now in Burning DC. He's going upstairs to have a word with iG.V.
He needs to do some prep talk, because their execution that game just let them down. Credit to Vitality though, like whenever they're on the back foot, they executed their plans really well. You could see every time they were getting pushed by an Aegis, they had like this predetermined game plan of when this happens in a fight, this is going to happen, and it was a lot more controlled, which is generally the luxury of being the defending team. You kind of know what's going to happen.
So...
And they made this hero work, like someone won with the watermelon.
It's about time as well. I've been having faith in this hero for quite a bit. I was about to run out, but hey, they finally won us, you know, or won a game on Tidehunter. But okay, we have to quickly rush into the game 3 lobby since we are kind of behind schedule. But alright guys, my name is Hades, this is PQMZ. Score now is 1-1 between both the Invictus Gaming